This is Nerd Culture. We're a small channel chasing our first 1,000 subscribers, so if you subscribe right now, you're joining something we honestly believe is going to be huge, and we can't thank you enough. Marvel just relaunched the X-Men comics. Again, new number ones, new era, a fresh start called Shadows of Tomorrow. And if your first reaction is, wait, didn't they just do this? You are absolutely right. The X-Men have rebooted so many times in the last few years that even die-hard fans have lost track of where they are. But there's a not-so-secret reason Marvel keeps hitting the reset button. By the end of this, I'll show you the real engine behind the endless relaunch, so let's get into it. Because it feels like every time you turn around, the X-Men are starting a bold new chapter. And that constant churn isn't an accident or creative chaos, it's a strategy, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. First, what's actually launching? Because on paper, it's a strong hook. The new era is called Shadows of Tomorrow. Coming out of a dark future storyline called The Age of Revelation, the X-Men return to the present armed with knowledge of a terrible future they now have to prevent. It kicks off a whole slate of new and relaunched books. Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, Wolverine, Cyclops, Deadpool, plus fresh titles like Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, Magic and Colossus, and Generation X-23. A brand new phase with a brand new stack of first issues. And that phrase, brand new stack of first issues, is where things start to feel dizzying. Just count the recent X-Men eras. There was the huge Krakoa Era, then that ended and became From the Ashes. Then came the Age of Revelation, and now Shadows of Tomorrow. That's a rapid-fire string of relaunches, new directions, and status quo resets, all packed into a handful of years. For a lapsed reader who wants to jump back in, it's genuinely bewildering. Where do you even start when the starting line keeps moving? 4 major reboots in a span most franchises would use for a single arc. That pace isn't a story choice, it's a business rhythm. And here's why Marvel keeps the treadmill running. The answer is almost embarrassingly simple. It's printed on the cover of every one of these books. A number 1. In comics, a first issue sells dramatically more than issue 34. Retailers order far more copies of a number 1, collectors chase first issues, and the media gives every bold new era a wave of free coverage. Relaunching resets the sales odometer back to its highest point. So Marvel has a powerful, built-in financial incentive to keep ending things just so it can start them again. It isn't only creative restlessness, it's a reliable way to goose sales, on schedule. Line them up and a number 1 wins on every axis that makes a publisher money. So the incentive isn't to tell one long, patient story, it's to keep manufacturing fresh number 1s. Multiply that by the most popular franchise Marvel has and you get a reboot cycle that never really stops. But there's a price, and loyal fans pay it. Constant resets can make stories feel disposable, erase hard-won momentum, and exhaust the very readers who just settled into the last status quo. And notice the timing. With a big X-Men movie reboot also arriving in 2028, the comics are resetting in lockstep with Hollywood, brand alignment taking priority over narrative patience. The X-Men on the page keep starting over, partly so they match the X-Men on the screen. So is the endless relaunch helping the X-Men or slowly wearing them down? The truth is, it's doing both at once. My honest take? Shadows of Tomorrow might be excellent, the creative teams are strong, and the hook is good. But the relaunch treadmill is a double-edged sword. It pulls in new eyes and juices sales, while quietly grinding down the diehards who crave a story that's allowed to breathe. So how many times can you reboot the X-Men? The real answer is simple and a little cynical. As many times as those number 1s keep selling. So if this cracked the scene wide open for you, do me a favor and tap subscribe. You'd be one of the very first, and there's a whole lot more nerd culture on the way.